The Elements of Drawing and the Elements of Perspective by John Ruskin. One of the great art, a lot of people know who the great artists were, but who are the great art educators? And they're really important. Who are the great, do you know who the great art educators? Who's a great Australian art educator? Does anybody know? Anybody out there? Well, there's some great ones, you know. There's Ashton and Tom Bass and Rubo and Meldrum. Okay, this guy, Ruskin, is an Englishman. But this book's almost like poetry. I'm going to read you. This is about the practice of drawing. The Elements of Drawing, Letter 1 on First Practice. My dear reader, whether this book is to be of use to you or not depends wholly on your reason for wishing to learn to draw. If you desire only to possess a graceful accomplishment, to be able to converse in a fluent manner about drawing, or to amuse yourself listlessly in listless hours, I cannot help you. But if you wish to learn drawing, that you may be able to set down clearly and usefully records of such things as cannot be described in words, either to assist your own memory of them or to convey distinct ideas of them to other people. If you wish to obtain quicker perceptions of the beauty of the natural world and preserve something like a true image of beautiful things that pass away, or which you must yourself leave, if also you wish to understand the minds of great painters and to be able to appreciate their work sincerely, seeing it for yourself and loving it, not merely taking up the thoughts of other people about it, then I can help you, or, which is better, show you how to help yourself. So last week, or last lesson, we looked at the perfect square with our beautiful sharp pencil, holding our pencil properly. We looked at how to make the perfect square, and I know you've been practicing these. Is that a perfect square? No, said the fellow in the valley by the yard. No, it's not so. So then we'll take that out, clean it up. Is that perfect? No. Let me fix it up again. Is that perfect? Well, it may not be perfect, but it's perfecter. Perfecter. And then we... Alright, well, that's a bit wobbly. Find the center. Like a well-handled horse. To control the pencil across the page. Like a well-handled horse. Yeah, remember we did that? And then we went round, dog on the leash. Around. There's some fabulous things online you can look at. Hacks, they call them hacks. For drawing perfect circles. There's this fabulous Spanish guy. There's actually competitions for perfect circle drawing. I always thought it was just my maths teacher, Mr. Healy, at school. Muggsy, we called him. A brilliant man. Brilliant man. But there's some good ones. All right, so we did the perfect circle. If you've practiced that, you'll be ready for the next step, which is today's class. That is, yep, the ellipse. The ellipse comes from the Latin or Greek ellipses, which means to leave out. Now, I'm not quite sure what's left out here. Maybe you can leave a comment at the end of this and tell me what's being left out. But this is the turning point. This is the shape of shapes. This is what separates the drawer from the non-drawer. Yeah. Anyway. There are a few circle exercises. We'll throw some of them in later. Okay, remembering our space up there. Maintain that space across the top. And then this side, we're going to make a rectangle. Now this time we're, again, maintaining this space the whole time. Now I'll put a little dot there, see where we're going to. I'll go down here. Okay. And then we're going to do our diagonal again. You'll have to excuse, there's a grasshopper living in my house. I've been trying to chase him out. I don't want to hurt him, but I'm getting close to hurting him. He's got a girlfriend in the kitchen. He's by the door. And they're singing to each other, which is beautiful. But I would prefer if they would self-isolate, because I'm starting to get fed up. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, airplane, take off from Chicago, land in Singapore. Take off from the airline there, off the ground. Bags are packed, land to go. Oh, too late, about to land. I designed an Australian flag with the ellipse, and the flag designer said it was too complicated a curve for people to be able to reproduce. And I explained that's the whole idea, enabling people to reproduce it. We'd have a country full of able-bodied drawers. So we leave around here. I've got a curve so I can land on that. Come off here. Got a big version in a second. Oh, pull up, you're gonna crash. Slowly come in to land down there. Okay, then once you've done, remembering we're keeping our hand light. The ellipse. That's it. The most important shape. You have to spin it like spinning a frisbee. Let's do a bigger one. These diagonals are... The dotted lines are good. And diagonal down to here, this is a hard one. I sometimes, you have to watch this, if I go diagonal, see that's pretty cool, eh? My bags are packed, ready to go. Okay, yeah, see? Dot, 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 dot. Maybe someone could put a comment too after this, why dot, dot, dots work. I don't understand why. Okay, then we're going to go straight down there, and then we're going to go, that's halfway there, halfway there, halfway there, we're going to go straight across. As I start here, my eye is watching here, my hand is here, but my eye is at that center point. And then my eye is going to jump from that center point to here. My pen is here, but my eye is there. Now, here we go. So, there's the little airport there. There's a little airport there. There's a little airport there. Let's say Texas, or let's say Adelaide, Sydney, Darwin, and Perth. So we take off from Adelaide here. We go across this line. We take off. See, immediately we're off the ground. Very lightly, because we're going to go around this. Okay, and we're going to swing around. We need to land on this runway here. Okay. Start turning, start turning. Steady, steady, steady. And we brought it in beautifully. It's such a ridiculous thing to do. You'd think, who cares? Who cares what this guy's doing? But this is the engine room behind. This is the turning point of learning to draw. I'm surprised, always surprised that every kid doesn't know how to do this in school. Okay. Now, where are we? Brisbane? Going off here. A little easier coming around here. Yeah, it's like an aeroplane flight. Very gently. Land there. We're going to swing around this way this time. We could go back this way. Swing. See, sometimes I go both ways, yeah? Off the runway, there. Keep it as fat as you can. See, I've hit too early there. And then here, off the runway. It's a really interesting curve. If you look at, whoop, you spin it like a frisbee. I mean, I can't throw frisbees. I'm bloody hopeless at it. But there it is. I'll do a quick one. I'll show you, here are the mistakes that people make. All right. One mistake is this. I call the tube of toothpaste. Right? They're just two arcs. I'm arcsing you, please don't do that. See, that's an arc. That's just an arc. This is not an arc. This, if you were in a car, you'd be gradually turning the steering wheel. So you're twisting in, yeah? That's an arc. That's just turning the steering wheel once and you just go round and round in circles, yeah? That's gradually turning tighter, 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 looser, looser, looser. So there's change going on. Two arcs. The other fault that people make, this. Notice how my line's going down. They're the ones I need to work out. The other fault people make is this. Make them too fat. Yeah? See, we're on the runway all the way here. If you're coming off from Sydney, you'd be in Botany Bay. Same as here. Look, we're taking off there. We're here. We have clearance. Right out of Mascot. Okay? So that's what we're looking at, the ellipse. Yeah. Okay. If you try this, and the last thing to say before I let you go and practice, I'll just do one more. I'll do a quicker one. If you try this and you find it is enormously frustrating and it hurts your mind, good, you're doing it the right way. The feeling is almost like bending heavy steel. Well, that should be a little bit more. No. It's like bending heavy steel. And okay, let's go. So it's a letter U almost. I do them so much now, but they're still, they're still pretty tricky. See, I'm changing different directions. Sometimes you may need to turn the piece of paper around. A lot of people are really good doing the top and really hopeless at the bottom, or really good on the right. Then what you can actually turn your pen around and. Remember we talked yesterday about, or last time, about the inside and the outside, walking the line? There's that. No, I don't like holding the pencil like that. Okay. Oh, one last thing. I mentioned last week about holding the pencil like this. When we hold our pencil like this, it forces us to hold our pencil lightly. But most importantly, it makes us use our eye, not our hand. Most people sort of think that their brain is in this part of their thumb, and so their hand will do all the thinking. My old teacher, Tom Bass, a spectacular man, he used both hands when he sculpted because the hands didn't matter. It was his eye. And actually, when he was old, in fact, one of his fingers was missing, and he would just throw his hands towards the thing and make the most exquisite work because he used his eyes. So that's where that is. Okay, practice them. Go. Turn the computer off and go and practice. Bye. I'll see you. I'm going to go have a cup of tea. I'll be back in a bit. Bye. Okay, welcome back. You should be hot-headed and frustrated after practicing those. Remember, if it hurts trying to do these sort of things, the word passion comes from the Latin passio, and that's not a drink with passion fruit in it. And that means to suffer. To suffer or endure. And yeah, there's a lot of suffering that goes on with these, but choose what you suffer for. This is a nice thing to suffer for. And you'll see in a second, you'll see why this is important. Okay, just to show you a few variations of these, which is fun, particularly coming up to Easter. One thing is, if we go down here, I'll stop all these boxes in a second. And we go, yeah. So we can do them vertical, like this. And after a while, you can see that it's a circle that's been thrown on the ground. Yeah, you see, it's like a circle. Well, there's a circle standing up. I was looking sideways for a second there. But if I do the same thing, a Pascal, and this time I'm going to take that horizontal up to here and drop that down. The sign of the cross. I did a crucifix a few years ago. Really interesting artwork. And then we do the same thing. We leave off Brisbane Airport there up to Darwin. Then we come off Darwin over down to the Kimberley. The old Australian drawing class. And then we come down here. Keep it fat. Wow. Out of this crucifix, like cross. Oh, maybe it'll work there. You get that shape. That's quite a strange one, but we look at it this way. You might recognize that shape. There's that cross. Yeah? I don't know no one's ever talked about the links with the Easter egg and Easter, and how the Orthodox Greeks love it. Yeah. Well, that's interesting, eh? Cross. Okay, so do you see I did quicker ones there? You can, after a while, you've practiced these a while. Do those until you cannot endure it anymore, and then you can do them like this. We just draw. Oh, hang on, before we do, let me try one other thing. It's so nice doing this podcast, or whatever the YouTube thing, because I can just take it nice and slowly. I'm not worried about kids sitting in a classroom freaking out because this is hurting their brain. Anyway, I better keep moving or you're going to turn me off. Watch this. If I go really, really thin like this, it's really hard now. Yeah, I can do that. Then here we do a dotted line. Yeah, that's pretty good. Do a dotted line through here. Right, we've got our 4 bits there. And take off, remember the takeoff? It's going to be super thin here. Try doing these. You'll find them really hard, but really cool, like a surfer that's coming through a really tight wave. It feels like you're really being really cutting it tight. Yeah. All right, there you go. So you can come over with, you move your pencil across and make it. Make sure you go through that point. So I've gone over it there and below it there. Okay, so you can make them really thin. Then you can start being a bit more relaxed about it, because you just need your 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I sometimes think, oh, I better go quickly because people aren't going to like me because they'll get bored doing this. But this is it. This is it. You want to be an artist, this is it. And you know, the nice thing is, you're a little bit wonky there, but that's okay. The nice thing is, if you want to be an artist, you can be an artist. It's like anyone can. When I learned to do all this stuff, it was so exciting because suddenly I realized you didn't have to be cool, or you didn't have to have had this or that sort of upbringing, or something terrible didn't have to happen to become you just did the stuff. But only some people would endure this crazy sort of stuff. If you're still doing this and it's okay, well, keep going. It's okay. But I'm not going to make any apologies for it. It's slow and gentle does the way. Now, okay, we've done a few of those. Now I'm going to show you how we can make some variations from these and some patterns we can make. So first of all, there's the Peppa Pig. I was watching Peppa Pig with the kids recently, and I noticed something interesting. See, we've made the variation of the egg, right? That's just a change from there. Let's see what other variations. So, for example, we've got this here. Let's put 1 point out here and 1 point down there. So we're going to... we've practiced that turn. We know how to do it. And it's going to come down through here. That's coming through there. Right, it's like that point there. And then from here, and you go, yeah, well, who cares? But, you know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, it's like a river pebble. My old teacher, Tom Bass, used to talk about river pebbles, how they once were bumpy, but as life has gone on, all the unnecessary bits get knocked off until eventually it's this beautiful evolved shape. Let's try another one. Let's go across here. Whoop. And let's put 1 there and 1 down here. Okay, so here, and we're going there and there. Here we're going to go around, down from there. It's going to go across there, yeah, that line. All the time thinking of our aeroplane idea. That's going to go off that line there, and off this one here. You can hear the aeroplane engine screeching. There's a runway. I'm going upside down here. Like a Japanese Zero coming into Strath Darwin down here. Look, that might not make any sense, but it does make sense if you think about it. So look, how cool is that? You know, these cool little shapes. Yeah, they just amuse the mind, you know. So, yeah, there's all the variety. Now, I'll do something crazy. Oh, I'll show you how this turns into cylinders and spheres and everything. Do that tomorrow, but here we go. One last little party hack, party trick for you. Give you something to show your friends, because you've been doing all these shapes and they're going to be going, well, did he teach anything? And you're going to go, yeah. So we do our straight line. We draw a nice little triangle down there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then we're going to, there's a great YouTube, actually let's make it even. It's going to bother me. that distance, that distance. Actually, there's an important point. When you're doing drawings, you've got to make sure your foundation shape. See that a rectangle's a foundation shape. You've got to make sure your foundation shape's right. If your foundation's right, the other stuff isn't going to work. And that goes against art. I mean, art is all about being careless and free. And art, the modern concept of art, remember, most of us base our idea on art on a concept that's evolved over the last 500 years. And that is about being daring and reckless. But there's mathematical certainty and logic that underlies this too, that shouldn't be overlooked. Yet these are things that you mess up later, but yeah, okay. We're going to have done our triangle there. We draw a nice little ellipse in there. You should be able to do them naturally by now. Now, there's a great website, Viheart, I think is the name. I'll put a link down. That noise in the background is my dog adjusting himself, buddy, on his little bed. It's not me scratching myself. That's right, buddy. Okay. So if I go, series of ellipses going down there. If I'm a good boy, I'll keep the proportions. These ones are getting a bit wobbly. Same there, they're getting a bit fat proportionally. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top left, keep that in, and the bottom right and keep that in. So top left and the bottom right. Top left and the bottom right. Top left and the bottom right. Remembering always we're doing this like, yeah? Bottom right, top left. Bottom right, top left. Bottom right, top left. Bottom right, top. Oh, there's that bloody cricket again. You can hear him now. Okay, I'll do this and then I'm going to go eliminate that cricket. I'm not going to eliminate. I'm just going to get my wife's hairdryer and tell him to go away. Excuse me for a second. I'll be back. Oh, we're all nice and quiet now. I love cricket. I just don't like that cricket. He's okay. I just chased him away with a hairdryer. Okay, now we've done this, yeah? Now we can come in. Because I've been a good boy with a light pencil, now I've gone in a bit hard. Watch this. Then I just rub it out. Look at that. Okay. How cool is that? Now, what are we going to do here? What we do, that's going to go around. That's going to go up. I think they go, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nice round circle up there. Yeah? You got me? I used to have one of these shells sitting at home. So I always look at it and think, what's the maths? They really are interesting shells. Not these ones, conch shells divide into three. Perfectly, whoa, I'm overlooking my line there. Whoa, come on, whoa, steady there. I'm going to come up here and go, whoa, I think I should have it that bigger there, yeah? That's it. Whoa. Okay. Cool, man, cool. And then you can come in and you can repeat some of those lines. Because you've been practicing them. Because, yeah? And you know that line's not going to start turning till after that point. have to put all the lines in. If you put all the lines in, you'll get bored. And as soon as you start getting bored, you're not making art anymore. You're designing. Designing is not art. Oh, no, actually you are designing. You're building. Designing is art. Sorry, designers. Right? And then you can come around and go, nee, 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 nee. Nee, 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 and add all those little bits, yeah? You start to realize, yeah. Ah, yeah. It's all hacks. Party hack. Okay, so yeah, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, whatever. Boys and girls, the ellipse. Go and practice. See you in a week, and I'm going to show you how this is the cornerstone behind the visual language. The cornerstone. All right. Love to all. Cheerio.